Since I'm getting back into doing labs and creating more VMs, I wanted to show you how to set a static IP for an Ubuntu server. So let's get into it. Usually the first question is, what IP address does this VM currently have? You have a couple options. IP link show is a command that shows the interface but doesn't really show the actual IP address. I like to use IP space A to get the actual IP address if one is actually assigned. So in this example, you can see it's assigned with 192.168.100.102. Next, we need to update a file to set the static IP address. That file is located in a directory called Netplan. That file could be a different name depending on how you installed the operating system. Going to have two options. You can ls that directory, so we can do ls/etc/netplan, or you can just cd into that directory and just cd space /etc/netplan and then do an ls, and we can see what actual file resides. In this case, it's 50-cloud-int.yaml. So then we need to modify it. You have two major options in my opinion. You can use vi space the file name, or you can use nano space the file name. We'll use vi here just so you can see the funness with vi. What's hard to tell here is you're getting an access denied, or it says permission denied. So you actually need to use sudo space the command, in this case vi, in the file name. So this is what the basic file name will look like. You just have the interface name and DHCP is true. And so we're going to start to modify it. Here are the fields that you actually will need. You're going to need to set DHCP defaults, put in the address, put in the static routes, and ideally probably put in a name server for your DNS. Some fun things to know about VI. You can't just start typing like you could in Nano. You need to hit I for insert. You need to hit escape to get out of the I. And if you hit delete or D, that'll put in delete mode. And then trying to save the file, sometimes you have to hit escape. Sometimes you're going to have to hit shift. You'll have to be :WQ for write quit. And yes, it is as painful as it sounds if you're not used to this. So first we're going to change DHCP to false. We're going to type the word addresses as not address as I was trying to type, and then put in your IP address / your subnet. Next we're going to put in the word routes. We're going to put where it's going to and via what IP, which is your default gateway in this case, typically ending in .1, but it might not be in your case. And then our DNS server, aka name servers with an S. Now you might want to add more than one. Typically you would add two. In my case, I just ended up adding one. So here you want to hit escape :WQ to write the file. And then I like to use cat or sudo cat to make sure the changes are reflected in the file. So when you're ready, you're going to use the command sudo space netplan space apply. And with any demo, not everything goes according to plan, so I did get an error with the indentation, although it did cut off the error message, unfortunately. For those of you that have ever had to edit Linux config files, you probably understand that you do not use the tab button, but use the space bar.
I just don't understand why anyone would use spaces over tabs. Like, if it's all the same, well, why not just use tabs? I mean, I do not get why anyone would use spaces over tabs. I mean, why not just use Vim over Emacs?
I do use Vim over Emacs.
Oh, God help us. Okay.
And that was kind of my mistake. Also, with the dash, it's supposed to be 2 spaces, not 1, before you put the IP address. That was another problem. I had to go back and try it multiple times. I did find a kind of a neat command, but it didn't really seem to do that much different for me. You could use sudo space netplan space generate to check the config before actually trying to apply it. Again, this is a lab system, so it really doesn't matter. It wasn't really in production. So using sudo space netplan space apply and getting the error message really didn't save me a lot of time or space at that point, no pun intended. And so I had to go back and forth several times. That would make me pull my hair out if I actually had any left. As you can see here, I started working each section at a time and double checking it because it was pissing me off so much. Well, I eventually did get it to work and did get it to complete. So learn from my mistakes to make your life a lot easier. Granted, if I was doing this a bunch of times, I'd probably just have it in the file and copy it over once I had one that I know was a good working file. but you learn and grow. So anyway, learn from my mistakes. Hopefully that was helpful, and thanks for watching.